Hi, it's Mitch from Pickdawgz.com, and it is Friday, April 7th, 2023, here with today's NRFI show. That means no runs in the first inning, just an acronym, and it's one of the hottest bets in all of sports betting, and of course, one of the hottest bets in Major League Baseball, because 6 outs is all it takes to hit the NRFI, no runs in the first inning. Or if you're playing yes runs first inning, some books call this over half a run in the first inning. Well, it could take even less time than that. It is the quick bet in baseball, and baseball, known for being a longer game, certainly working on that. And this season, the game's getting a lot shorter and making it a lot more enjoyable to watch, I believe. And certainly the game, one of those games where it's not within a time frame, so you always are in it if you're betting full games. But with the NRFIs and the YRFIs, which is what we call it, yes runs first inning or over the half a run, well, these are over in a hurry. And let's just take a look at yesterday's action. You know, if you watched yesterday's show the day before, not such a great day for me. I gave myself the clown emoji. It was so bad. But we bounced back in a nice way. Got off to a rough start, though. Lost this one. We thought yes runs in the first inning. In the Red Sox-Tigers game, it actually took until the second inning until runs hit the board in that thing. But when runs started coming, they started coming in a hurry. Just didn't come fast enough for us. So we took the loss in the first game, but we won the next one. We hit the no runs first inning in that Nationals-Rockies game. I mean, a game at Coors Field, which had just 1 run scored in the entire game. We got plus money on that NRFI, so we were in the plus already after that game. And our only other pick on yesterday's light card, we took the yes runs first inning in the Braves versus Padres, and yes, there was a run in the first inning, so I cashed another winner. So a winning day yesterday, back to our winning ways, and I'm excited about that. Of course, the way that we win the most money is we shop our lines at the sports book. Always get the best line available. That 5 cents here, 10 cents here is what it looks like on the lines, but when you're betting 20 bucks, 30 bucks, and betting thousands of games like we do, well, it all adds up in a hurry. Always get the best lines. In point spread sports, it's just as big. In these money line sports, always getting the best price available. Don't give money to the sports book before the game starts. Have the odds in your favor. It is the best advantage you have over the books. Head on over to Pickdawgz.com. Click on the sportsbook tab. Thing is, a lot of people, they know we sell picks. They don't buy picks. We have tons of free content. 99% of our content is free. One way to support us is by using our links to sign up for the books. But anyways, let's get to today's NRFIs because we've got a ton of picks for today's show. We got 10 NRFIs on this Good Friday for baseball. And the thing is, we've got day games, we've got night games, we've got it all. Pick number 1, we're going to head to opening day at Citi Field. This game was postponed yesterday, and they're going to play today. Tyler McGill against Edward Cabrera on the mound in this one. These two pitchers already faced off against each other in Miami, and Cabrera pitched really well in that game, but he gave up a ton of walks. McGill didn't pitch poorly either. Took a few innings for the Marlins to touch him up. As we know, both of these lineups have now seen these pitchers, but at the same time, I expect these haven't been the highest scoring teams in baseball. We like the NRFI in the Marlins against the Mets, and that's going to be pick number 1. For pick number 2, we go to the game between the Cubs and the Rangers. We're going to say yes runs in the first inning. The Cubs have had a run scored in the first inning in their last 5 games against American League teams. We know at Wrigley Field, the wind could certainly be a factor. We also know the Texas Rangers can hit the baseball. The Cubs hitting the baseball pretty well this season as well. The wind is blowing sort of sideways to right field. Not the best hitter's wind. It's going at about 11.5 miles an hour. It's about 40 degrees at Wrigley Field. Not a great day to sit out there in the stands. You guys know I used to live in Chicago, so I've done that plenty of times. You got visitors in town. They want to go see Wrigley Field. Man, you're going no matter what the weather is, and I'll tell you, man, it gets really chilly out there at Wrigley in those bleachers. These players, believe me, they're going to want to warm up in a hurry. They're going to be swinging away. Got to remember the last time we saw the Cubs, they put 12 runs on the board. They put 6 on the board before that, 5 before that. Of course, they've been hitting it well. Meanwhile, the Rangers haven't been hitting it quite as well this season, except for that 16-run outing against the Phillies. So we know that they certainly have the capability to do it. Eovaldi on the mound here for the Rangers. He throws hard stuff. That means he gets hit hard. And Stroman, well, he's more of a crafty pitcher, and those crafty pitchers, they're usually good for 3 runs a game or so. So getting one of those early, certainly not out of the question. We'll take yes runs first inning in the Cubs-Rangers. Our next one for today, we're going to head to Baltimore, where it's opening day for the home opener for the Orioles. You know, the Orioles were the best money team in all of sports last year. If you bet $10 a game on the Orioles every single game, you won more money than you did betting on any team in any sport all of last year. Meanwhile, Orioles, pretty good value here, but you know they're going to come out swinging against the Yankees in this game. The crowd, this is kind of like what I call the double whammy, right? Because you have opening day for Baltimore in their home opener, and you have the Yankees in town. So if it was like the Yankees in just the middle of the summer or whatever, it still would be a frenzied atmosphere in the crowd. And, being that it's the Yankees that are in town, well, they're going to be extra jacked up. I got to say, with Schmidt going for the Yankees, I think the Orioles got a chance to jump on him. Kramer going here for the Orioles. He's one of their better pitchers, of course, with John Means still on the shelf. I still think we see a run. We saw plenty of runs in the first inning in that home series to open it up with the Yankees and the Giants, and we hit all of those on this show. You know what? We'll hit the yes runs first inning in the Yankees-Orioles, and that's going to be our third pick for today's show. Our fourth pick, we're going to go to the city of brotherly love, where the Reds are taking on the Phillies. This one, no runs first inning. This is a little higher priced for a NRFI than we generally see at minus 130 odds. Of course, this is at Rush Street, so you got to shop those lines and get the best line available. Sugar House, Rush, it depends on where you're at. Bet Rivers, these are all the same company and all the same odds. But we've got Hunter Green going here for the Reds. He is a strikeout expert. And we have Zach Wheeler going for the Phillies. And we know that Wheeler, well, this guy is a strikeout guy also. And we also know he got shelled last time out. So he'll be looking to make amends for that. This is also the Phillies' home opener, so expect Wheeler to be extra jacked up. And, Hunter Green, this guy was like a number 2 overall draft choice type guy pitching for the Reds in this one. I like this NRFI a lot at Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia. We'll take a quick look at the weather in this one before we move on. Always something that you want to check is the wind and the weather in these outside parks. The wind blowing in at almost 25 miles per hour in Philadelphia. And it's supposed to be just south of 60 degrees for this one. So this is pitcher's weather all day long. We'll take the NRFI in the Reds, Phillies. This might be our best bet of the show. Our next one is going to be the yes runs first inning. This one's the Twins-Astros game. The yes runs first inning for the Twins has hit in their last 5 games against American League West teams. Now, this game was postponed from yesterday. Sonny Gray on the mound. We know this guy is hit and miss throughout his career. Jose Urquidy on the mound here for the Astros. He's a guy that has had to move up in the rotation with now Justin Verlander gone. It's the Astros have this attrition every single year where they have these guys in the pitching staff that move on to other places. It was Cole, It's Verlander, and it's just, it's part of baseball and the business end of baseball. Now, the thing about this game is at Target Field, the wind is blowing directly straight in from center field at about 9 miles an hour. So, this one probably not as strong as like a Phillies versus Reds, but at the same time, we know the Astros can hit, and we know when Sonny Gray's not pitching well, oh man, it doesn't matter which way the wind's blowing, he's going to give up a ton of runs. And Eric Quiddy, he's a guy that, a few years ago, was more of a spot starter type guy for the Astros. I don't love the pitchers in this game, and I think the NRFI makes some sense. I don't love it as much as some of the other plays, though. We go to our next one, and we're going to take the Mariners and the Guardians. Yes, runs first inning. We saw these pitchers face off, these teams face off in Seattle recently, and there was a pretty good amount of hitting going on in that game. When we in that series, we had a 6-5 game, we had a 9-4 game in that one, and the one that Logan Gilbert faced off against Savali was actually the lowest scoring of the entire series. It was 2-0 in that game for the Guardians. So I think in this one, though, I just think that we're going to see a little bit more. The teams are very familiar with the pitchers at this point. In Seattle, it was a NRFI when these two faced off, and there wasn't a run scored until the 4th inning of that game. I think in this one where the hitters have seen these pitchers, and everyone knows I'm not a huge fan of Logan Gilbert. The wind is blowing in at Cleveland. That really doesn't matter here. It's not a very strong wind, but what we see here is that, and it can get really strong there off the lake. We know that. It's not one of those big ones. It's less than 10 miles an hour. And we know the Guardians, more of a manufacture, both these teams, more of a manufacture run type teams. So I think that's what we're going to see. Maybe one of these pitchers a little bit susceptible early. We'll take the yes runs first inning in the Seattle-Cleveland game at a pretty good price in that one. We're getting plus money. Our next one, we're going to go to the game between the White Sox and the Pirates. We're going to go with the no runs first inning. The White Sox, they don't play at Pittsburgh a ton, obviously, because they're in, the opposite league. And this year, actually, everybody plays everybody this year. And this is the first time that's happened. But normally, these teams only play each other every 3 years. The thing is that the White Sox, when they played at PNC Park, it's been the NRFI 5 times in a row. Now, teams that don't play each other all that often, the names change, the faces change, but the trend remains the same. And the thing about this one is Lucas Giolito on the mound here for the White Sox. I think he's one of those guys that has something to prove this year. And Rich Hill, the crafty veteran on the mound here for the Pirates, he's a guy that's a little tough to figure out the first time through. Generally, Rich Hill is one of those guys that you get to him the second time through the order, and he doesn't make it to the 3rd time through the order, but he's more of a second time through. Giolito, this guy has potential no-hitter stuff every single time out. Makes sense to me. I like the NRFI in the Pirates-White Sox game. We'll take a quick look at the weather. The wind is blowing out at about 10 miles per hour in this thing, but a lot of humidity in this thing, and you guys know the high level of humidity, that keeps the ball from popping off the bat. That's why they keep the balls at Coors Field in the humidifier. We go to the next game, the Braves and the Padres. Yes runs first inning. Look at the odds on this thing. This is one that you're going to want to shop, definitely. The Braves, yes runs first inning versus the National League. 6 times in a row. We saw it last night, and with Nick Martinez and Jared Schuster going for the pitchers in this game, with these two lineups that we see, I like the yes runs first inning a bunch in this one as well. We know that in Atlanta, it has been pretty much a hitter's park. A little high on the humidity side, but the wind, 15 miles an hour, blowing out to right field in this thing. Oh, man, yes runs first inning in that Braves-Padres game. And we go to our next one. We've got a lot of picks on today's show. We head to Colorado, where we caught the NRFI yesterday. I know it wasn't a popular pick with Josiah Gray on the mound in Freeland, but today we're going to stick with the NRFI in a game that I think, as we get deeper into it, is going to be very, very high scoring. So that's why we're getting the plus odds here. But the Nationals, no runs first inning against the National League West. We know the Nationals don't hit the ball extremely well. We know the Rockies do, but Jose Urena going for the Rockies and Mackenzie Gore going for the Nationals. Gore is a guy, that the Nationals wanted him bad. I mean, they paid way up for him when they were wheeling and dealing. And we know that Mackenzie Gore, when he's on his game, he has really, really good stuff. The humidity just 22%. The wind 8.1 miles per hour, blowing in at Coors, blowing in from right field all the way in through home plate. I like the NRFI in this one. I think it's worth it based upon the risk reward with the price we could possibly get here, and based on yesterday's performance where just one run was scored in the entire game. I think for the game, though, I think once we get into this game, we're going to see a lot of runs. So we'll take NRFI first inning. I'm going to go over on the game, though, on that thing. Anyways, our final pick for today's show, and when you have this many picks, you say, and a partridge in a pear tree, right? We've got the Angels going up against the Blue Jays. No runs in the first inning. Chris Bassett got absolutely bombed last time out for the Blue Jays. We know he's a better pitcher than that. We saw it last year in New York. We saw it throughout his career in Oakland. Up against Patrick Sandoval, who's pitched pretty well recently. We know Sandoval certainly, he's not like an elite Cy Young type pitcher, but last time out, 5 innings, 2 hits, and 1 run. It was just a solo shot home run that he gave up. That was really the only difference. The thing is, in this one, Anaheim, generally a pitcher's ballpark. The wind is blowing straight out at 10 miles per hour at the time of doing this video. But I think with these two pitchers, I think we're going to see some runs later on in the game. I think early in the game, though, I'll stick with the NRFI. It's been coming in the Angels games plenty. And against the AL East, 4 times in a row, we'll take the NRFI in this one. But so let's recap everything we've gone over here. Be sure to smash that like button and subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so. And of course, if you want to support us and buying picks isn't your thing or any of that stuff, one of the best ways to support us is always to sign up for a sports book over at Pickdawgz.com using our link. It's always better to shop lines anyway. I always think that this is something where it's like you don't have to buy something and it's something you're doing anyway. And it's actually, this is something that really works to your advantage. It's like, why get only plus 110 odds when you can get plus 120? All those extra $10 and $5 and $4, depending on how much you're betting, that makes the difference between winning and losing over the course of the season. Just do the quick math. That's all it is. And the money that you save on the other side when you don't win those bets by getting better odds, well, the same thing. But anyways, let's just recap all the NRFIs for today's show. It's been a long one. We took the NRFI in the Marlins-Mets game. We took the yes runs first inning, the over half a run in the Cubs-Rangers game. We took yes runs first inning in the Yankees-Orioles game. We took the no runs first inning in the Reds-Phillies game. We took the yes runs first inning in the Twins-Astros game. We took the yes runs first inning in the Mariners-Guardians game. We took the no runs first inning, White Sox-Pirates. We took the yes runs first inning in the Braves-Padres. No runs first inning in the Nationals-Rockies. And no runs first inning in the Angels-Blue Jays. There's your NRFIs for today. This is Mitch. Thanks a lot for joining me. Be sure to smash that like button. Let your friends know about our NRFI show that we're doing every day. We're going to avoid that clown emoji. We're going to make it a winning day. Appreciate each and every one of you. Smash that like, and let's win big and crush the books.